Hey, welcome back. Today I want to share with you what I've been doing in the past 2 weeks and how I made the new redesign for game theory Colorblind accessible. And if you stick around, I will give you the color palette that I use and found that works for basically every type of color blindness. And feel free to use that in your future game development. Let's jump over here and see what I'm talking about. A long time ago, game theory started out as this. This was my first design that I did by hand after actually rolling dice. You can see it looks cool. Use some crayons, I think, or colored pencil. I did a lot of work there, and then we jumped over to the actual design that I did on the computer for the first time and got these printed out by a quick print prototyping company. Logo is on there, one of the things I want to change as well. And then I want to bring you over to today with the new Colorblind palette that I've got going, and I want to show you the process and how I got to here to make the cards look the way they do. All right, let me spend some time and get my table set up. I'll show you what that looks like. So as a quick example, what I'll show you here is the differences in color from the original prototype on the way to the one I printed out a few years back into the new one. And you can see right here the differences in color, possibly. And this one, this guy on the very outside is new. And the one that I actually did and printed on my own. I'm super happy with the way these turned out. We'll get to that in a minute here. But these, other than maybe the corners not being 100% round, feel like real cards, which is pretty freaking awesome. So check this out. The original design that I had was based solely on color. So everything on here was displayed information through color, and there's no way to tell if this were black and white or anything, you know, whose dice were whose in the game. Now, there's a little bit of a convenience in game theory in the sense that I don't have to explicitly say, you know, blue dice, red dice, or anything like that. The players, as long as their player cards, which are solid, match the color on the dice, if they can differentiate what those look like, then we're in business. It doesn't matter even if those colors appear different to someone else, as long as they know it's theirs. But check this out. I did some research and found some terrible news for my game. Here's what someone with normal vision might see, right? In the original design that I had. I found a place where you can simulate, you can upload an image and it will spit out the different forms of color blindness and what someone with that might see. If you have a weak deficiency in green or red, this is what the colors might look like. Now, I had my hopes up at first because I was like, oh, that's not too bad. You know, you can still tell a difference. It wasn't until we found someone who's fully red or green colorblind that I realized I had a major problem. Yeah. Basically, what I learned is my game is screwed. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and I went on Reddit. I had great comments from all of you guys, and I said, hey, here's my problem. Here's what I'm trying to solve. Does this work? Let's quick jump down, and I'll show you what I did on my iPad and how I had it laid out. Okay, so this is Procreate. If you saw me in my last video doing a time lapse, I was actually working on this specific piece. This is what I started with. And then I basically have a whole bunch of different stuff. I have got my colors, my gray, blue, yellow, and red, which is actually more of a gold. I had my guide that I initially started. If I turn this other outline off, that's how I started the process. And then I realized after talking with the community on Reddit, I need shapes. I need shapes or symbols or something. So I ended up adding a different shape. So the gray shape, let me turn off the outline or guide there. The gray shape gets a 5-sided shape, the blue gets 4, yellow gets 3, and red gets just a circle. And I use those as the base, and then per color I also added 6 different shaded in colors that I did by hand. This way it adds variety, and they all correspond with a different set of numbers as well. So I've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now after all that was done, I did my exporting and brought that all over to my computer where we can show you what that looks like next. Here we are. This is on my computer. These are all the exports, and all of these individual little guys are individual exports that I did from the drawings I had on my iPad, and I arranged them all on here. So basically I can drag and drop these to wherever I need. This is my master document that I'm using, which I might have to redo because I learned some new things along the way that will make it way easier. Basically, I can link an image, so if I ever update, one of these, I can just update it here and it will update it across the whole document, which makes it way easier. So I did some beginning stuff. This is my player cards. If you haven't seen how game theory is played, I do have some videos on the rules on my YouTube channel. I'll link it in the card above, boop, boop, that way. Check it out. But this is what those cards are, and then here's some dice cards that I use as examples. And then finally, I created a layout for printing with cut lines and trim lines and bleed lines that will work for what I need. And then I have a document set up where once it's printed out, it's just got these little sections here, like with cut and stuff, and they're also in the center. So as you print this off and decide to start cutting these out on the cut lines, you won't ever lose where a corner of a card should be, and then these green lines will be cut out when you round the corners. So if you guys are interested in actually having access to like this, just the layout itself, let me know and I can find a way to share that with everyone. This is the simulator I found online that works really, really, really well. I can upload an image here, and I have a color test image that I did. So this is what green week looks like. You can do green blind, red week, red blind, and then there's some other forms that I didn't really get to talking about, and that's what it looks like. So this is my color palette. Check in the comments below, and I'll put it up here on the screen for you guys, what color palette I'm using. This is the colors, and then here's what it will look like to all the different types of people. A link for this website will also be in the YouTube description below. Feel free to use this for yourself. This is freaking awesome and has definitely helped me out along the way. But the trickiest one was probably monochromacy, where like they literally lose all form of color and you have to just use shade values. So I was able to get 4 different shades that also works out with all the different colors. So super happy about that. All right, so before I keep going on this, I just want to give a quick shout out to the people on the Colorblind subreddit. You guys are awesome. I received some really positive feedback, some great criticism on the way I was approaching the topic. That's why I did actually end up doing symbols and everything for each of the styles as well. This is a pretty close-up game, so when you're playing it, you're not far away, so it's really not hard to see stuff. It's a really intimate 2-player game. But before we wrap this up, let's quick look down and see what this looks like when it's all laid out. It's pretty sweet. So here it is in all its gloriousness. This is just 2 colors, obviously. Still got a red and a gray that you can use. This is the game. This is the new iteration, the new design. All in all, guys, I am pumped where this game is at. I've come a long way in my development process from, man, like 3 or 4 years ago. Now I haven't been constantly working on the game, but I've learned a lot and it's a lot better place than where it used to be. If you like this, please like and subscribe, share it with any friends or family that you know who enjoy board game development. I don't know if what I'm doing is the right way or the wrong way, but it's one way to do it. I hope you get some information out of here that you can apply to your own games. Like I said, feel free to use that color palette I created. It took quite a while to get to that point, so if you want to use that color palette for your game, feel free, share the love. It would be great to see everybody using something that everyone can use and is accessible. Finally, if you're interested in any of the things I mentioned in the video, including a print sheet where you can basically put your cards on and use it as a print layout for yourself, let me know. I'll find a way to make that accessible for you guys. If you are interested in playing my game online, which I would have to build out and set up, if I get enough interest, I would love to be able to do that. So let me know about that as well. And then going forward, I've got a few things I've got to continue working on the game with, and including making it a print and play for you. We can do black and white, color, or whatever. But until then, I just got to get back to work and plug away at stuff. So I'll document my process along the way. Until then, stay safe, everyone. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and peace out.